I don't think it was necessarily feeling like I needed to fit in because I felt very comfortable with the people around me. It was this understanding that I needed to understand how this world worked in order to succeed within it, and in order to move forward in all the hopes and dreams that my parents wanted me to be, given that they've sacrificed and cut off relationships with so much of their family to provide me with this opportunity. I needed to learn the rules of this world so I could excel in it.
Absolutely. So like changing the system from within and being a part of it. When you talk about identity, I'm curious to hear from your perspective. Do you identify more with Chinese culture, Canadian culture, a mix of the two, or were you kind of swinging like a pendulum between them based out? Because I definitely did that. When I'm around my Indian friends and family, I'm almost a different personality altogether in terms of my Indian accent comes out, and I take to that environment really quickly. But when I'm in other environments, I'm almost like a chameleon. I can really adapt. So how would you describe your identity today and how that's evolved over the past couple of years?
That's a really interesting
It's
question.
a loaded one too.
I would say that I lead with my Chinese identity, but I'm also 50-50 Chinese Canadian. In the fact that there's a lot of rituals and cultural, I guess, celebrations that I adhere to, or superstitions that I implement within the household now with my husband too. And I also identify with a lot of the value systems of my Chinese heritage. But I'm also 50% Canadian because there is also a level of richness and experiences that I've learned from being this this first generation Chinese Canadian that makes me not fully Chinese either. And so when I go back to China or when I interact with other Chinese individuals, then I feel like there is a distance, or there's a difference in how I interpret things or how I look at the world. And it's very difficult when I think about interacting with my parents because their full value system is still so very much Chinese. And how can I describe some of these new thought patterns or ways of looking at the world as a Canadian to them when they have a Chinese context? And how do you relate to your parents while not, I guess, making your interpretation of the world as the full truth, because there's such a mixture of everything. And so it's definitely still a complex relationship that I'm trying to develop and build with my parents as well.
No, identity is an interesting concept, because I definitely feel home in foreign lands and foreign at home, and it's always interchanging.